Gold crashed 12% in one day. Silver plunged 36%, the biggest drops in 40 years. And you know what is so sad? Most Americans, they don't have $500 saved to begin with. So who wins when everything crashes? And where do you put your money when nothing feels safe? I gotta drop a little disclaimer. And I know that it's lame, but I must drop a disclaimer. I am a licensed insurance advisor, wealth strategist, business consultant who's worked with companies from startups to Fortune 50 and a professional speaker. I am not a registered investment advisor or financial planner. Everything I share is educational, not personalized advice. When I discuss retirement or wealth strategies, I am talking about insurance based solutions, not securities or investments. Always work with licensed professionals for your specific situation. All right, let's get into it. Welcome to another episode of the Carlos Inspire Show. I am Carlos Cicada, and I am grateful to every single one of you who listened to our show for several years. I'd appreciate you guys going on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Alexa, Amazon, Audible, whatever you listen to this episode. Drop us a like, a follow, and a review. It's highly appreciated. Everyone counts. As every money that we earn on social media, we donate most of it to help others who are facing hunger. And today we are talking about something that just happened this past week. Something that wiped out billions of dollars in minutes. And something that exposed a truth most people don't want to face. If you are struggling, if you want to learn how to make more money with AI, follow me on Instagram at Carlos Inspire, INSPIRE. There are links there under my Instagram bio with amazing resources that can help everyone. And if you are already making real money, you better protect it and grow it the way the banks do, with tax advantage strategies. At disruptorscode.com, we show you strategies to protect and grow your hardworking cash using tax advantage vehicles and wealth transfer strategies so your family keeps what you built, not the IRS. Email us at info@carlosinspire.com to make sure we operate in your state. All right, let's talk about what just happened. Thursday, January 30th, 2026. Gold hits all-time high $5,600 per ounce. Silver reaches 122 record highs. Everywhere you look, people are celebrating. Then Friday, January 31st. Gold crashes to $4,700, a 12% drop, the biggest single-day decline since the early 1980s. Silver, even worse, down 36% in one day, from $122 to $78, the worst decline on record. Billions of dollars evaporated in minutes. And here's what nobody's telling you. This wasn't an accident. The official story, profit taking. Kevin Warsh got nominated as the new Fed chair. He's hawkish on inflation. Dollar strengthening. Investors got spooked. That's what they tell you on CNBC. But here's the pattern I am watching. Top 10% of Americans hold 93% of the stock market wealth, the ultra wealthy. And when gold and silver hit record highs, they don't celebrate with you. They dump massive quantities of future contracts. They overwhelm the buy side. They trigger forced liquidations. Retail investors, everyday people, have to post more cash or their positions auto-liquidate. It cascades, prices crash, weak hands get shaken out. Then the big money buys back in at the bottom. But here's the part that keeps me up at night. 27% of Americans have zero emergency savings. Zero, zip. The highest level ever recorded. 59% can't cover a $1,000 emergency expense with savings. The median emergency savings in America, $500. $500. So when gold crashes 12% in a day, most Americans aren't even in the game. They are not holding gold. They are not holding silver. They are not holding stocks. They are not holding crypto. They are holding debt. Unfortunately, you hear me right. Debt. 1.2 trillion in credit card debt at an average interest rate of 22.83%. 54% of Americans are saving less because of inflation. Not more, less. So while the wealthy are playing games with billions in precious metals, most Americans are one broken card away from financial ruin. Can you see this? Does this make you angry? Because here's the question everybody's asking. Who do you trust? Where do you put your money? The banks manipulate the markets. The government prints money like it's going out of style. Inflation is eating your purchasing power. Gold and silver, the safe havens, just crash harder than anything in 40 years. So what do you do? Let me tell you what I learned coming to this country with $800 in my pocket. You don't put your money in one thing. You don't trust one system. You diversify your risk. You guys often hear me saying all the time, not only I love using these claims, but I also always say, trust nobody, question everything. You see, more importantly, you invest in one asset that can't crash. The one thing nobody can manipulate or take away from you, your skills, your knowledge, your ability to create value. When I came to America, I didn't have gold. I didn't have stocks. I didn't have a 401k. What I had was the ability to adapt, to learn, to hustle. I sold bread on the streets at age 7. Then at 18, coming to America, cable TV and internet door to door. Then I trained others. Then I became really good at sales and marketing because sales and marketing is your twin tickets to freedom. Then I helped Fortune 50 companies, small businesses, and thought leaders generate over $8 billion in revenue. How? I went where nobody else would go. I identified underserved markets with low competition and high opportunity. The projects, the barrios, the neighborhoods everyone else ignored. While my client competitors play it safe, I got creative and we won. You might even hear Mr. Beast often talk about the creative. Be creative. Challenge your creativity. That's the difference between most influencers and YouTubers and social media folks that are out there making plenty cash. And now you have AI that you can use to leverage and apply and learn from them and apply and make it better and challenge the status quo. Because at the end of the day, markets crash. Currencies fail. Banks collapse. But skills compound. Skills transfer. Skills create wealth no matter what the economy does. So here's my answer to where do you put your money? You put some in cash for emergencies. You put some in assets that historically hold value. Real estate during the right times, precious metals during those crazy dips, index funds, instruments that you don't lose money, where there is a floor that protects your cash. But you never put everything in one basket. And most importantly, you invest the majority of your time, energy, and money into becoming someone who can create value in any economy. Be the one that adds the most value to others in your city, in your community, on social media, and you watch the magic happens. That's what I call the immigrant advantage. We've seen currency collapse. We've seen government fail. We've seen everything crash. I personally seen everything taken from me. You guys know the stories. Father died as a baby, horrible car explosion. Stepfather was murdered, then physically and mentally abused. That's why I often tell you guys on my book, I will never take you to a place that I haven't been before. But let's talk practically. If you are making money right now or have a solid income coming in where there is a few hundred left over each month, you need to protect it. Because here's what I see. People grinding to build wealth, then losing half of it to market crashes, taxes, and bad financial planning. Let me tell you a story. 2008, the Great Recession. I had two friends, both 55 years old, both planning to retire at 62. Friend A had 500,000 in his 401k. Traditional retirement plan in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, the safe way everyone told him to do it. Friend B had $500,000 in a properly structured index universal life policy, what we call an IUL in the industry. Then the market crashed. Friend A opened his statement in October 2008. His 500,000 was now 250,000. Gone. 50% evaporated. He couldn't retire at 62 anymore. He worked until his late 60s, 6 to 7 more years, because his retirement plan wasn't protected. Friend B opened his statement, still $500,000. Zero loss, not $1. And me, I had almost $3 million in stocks, lost almost $1.5 million overnight. Almost $1.5 million gone. I came to this country with $800, built multiple businesses, generated over $1 billion of Fortune 50 companies, and watched almost $1.5 million in stocks evaporate in a crash I couldn't control. That's when I learned building wealth is one thing, protecting it is everything. So when I talk about this, I'm not reading from a textbook. I lived it, I lost it, and I made damn sure I would never happen again. Here's what friend B had that I didn't back then. An IUL policy has what's called a floor. When the market crashes, you don't lose. That is a clause. Your floor is typically 0% to 1%, zero downside. But here's the beautiful part. When the market goes up, you participate in the gains, usually capped at 8 to 12, 13% annually. Market crashes, protected. Floor keeps you at zero loss. Market recovers and climbs, you capture the gains. Tax-free growth, tax-free distributions in retirement, no market risk, upside participation. IUL by law is the only instrument that can talk about this and guarantee it. That's the strategy the banks use for themselves. Most people don't even know it exists. Now, I'm not saying IULs are right for everyone. Every situation is different. Every state has different products and regulations, and you must structure correctly. But here's what I am saying. Most people don't even know these strategies exist. They are putting 100% of their retirement accounts that can lose 30, 40, 50% overnight when the big banks manipulate the markets. And it doesn't take a fortune to start protecting yourself. Even $100 a month for a newborn child, growing and compounding tax-free from birth until age 18. can potentially create incredible wealth by the time that they are adults. Market's been averaging 10% for the last 40 years. IOLs, they follow the S&P. They mirror the market. Your money is not in the market and mirrors the market. Just imagine your kid is born and you put $100 a month and it's potentially giving you back potentially 8% a year. Let's just think small. You do the math, by the time that they're 18, they have enough money there to pay for college, a car, and a down payment on a house. $100 a month. We spend that on a McDonald's nowadays for dinner on a family of 4. Even if you are late to the game and don't feel like you have much saved for retirement, a few $100s per month over 10, 20, 30 years, compounding tax-free while protected from market crashes, can potentially create substantial income when you need it most. At age 70, when you can't go at it like you do now, that protection matters. You work too hard, my friend, to let the market manipulation wipe out half of your retirement. You work too hard to let the IRS take 40% to 50% when you die. You built too much to let one lawsuit destroys everything. This is where Disruptors Code.com, one of our companies, comes in. Again, that's Disruptors Code.com. We educate you on strategies that may help you protect and grow your wealth. Some incredible estate planning tools that we refer to you, including how to get your own will set up for free, a $3,000 value. As a bonus, insurance-based retirement strategies like IOLs that may provide tax advantage growth with downside protection. Wealth transfer strategies designed to keep your money in your family, not with the IRS. Asset protection structures to shield what you built. Now, every situation is different. Every state has different laws and product availability. That's why you need to work with licensed professionals in your state. Email us at info@carlosinspire.com to see if we operate where you are. Making money is half the game. Keeping it and protecting it, that's the immigrant's final lesson. And if you are a speaker, a coach, or a consultant, the fastest way to create wealth right now is to get paid to speak in front of your audiences, not share your story for exposure on social media or on Zooms that won't pay you. Paid stages. At getonmorestages.com, we teach you the exact frameworks to land 5- and 6-figure keynotes, because your expertise is worth more than free coffee and a handshake. Are you following me? So here's the truth about this gold and silver crash. It's a reminder, a wake-up call. The game is rigged. The big players have information you don't have. They have resources you don't have. They can move markets in ways you can't. But they can't take your skills. They can't manipulate your ability to create value. They can't crash your knowledge. This is why 27% of Americans have zero savings. They are playing a game they don't understand, with rules that can change whenever the wealthy need them to. So stop playing their game. Build your own. Invest in yourself. Protect what you build. Diversify your assets. Don't put all your faith in gold or silver or stocks or crypto or any single system. Put your faith in your ability to adapt, to learn, to create value no matter what the economy does. Because here's what I know from building businesses for 20 plus years. Markets will crash. They always do. Governments will print money. They always do. The wealthy will manipulate the system. They always do. But the people who survive, who thrive, are the ones who don't depend on any single system. They build multiple income streams. They protect their assets legally. They invest in skills that compound forever. That's the game. That's always been the game. So here's what I want you to do after this episode. First, If you have zero emergency savings, work your way up and start saving with $500, not 10,000, not 5,000, $500. Make that your goal. Get that buffer between you and your financial goal. Second, if you are making money, educate yourself on protection strategies. Visit disruptorscode.com. All links in the description below. And email us at info@carlosinspire.com to learn about tax advantage strategies and proper structures before you need them. Third, if you are a speaker or a coach, stop giving your expertise away for free. Visit getormorestages.com and learn how to get paid what you are worthy. And finally, stop putting your faith in systems you can't control. Invest in the one asset that will never crash: yourself. This is the Carlos Inspire Show. Go build your empire. We are one.